So I was vegan for 12 years. I went vegan when I was 13 years old. I was in the 8th grade in middle school. And now I'm 25 and I'm no longer vegan. I stopped being vegan last year fully. And I'll tell you guys a little bit of my story. So I went vegan when I was in the 8th grade because my mom was initially vegan. She did it for health reasons because she wanted to look good and young. And I just remember thinking she was insane. I was like, how are you gonna remove all the main foods that everyone on this earth eats? Like, you're crazy. And she would always push it onto me. She would be like, the meat you're eating is dead flesh and the milk is pus. And it would just like disgust me. And you know, when you're young, you just want to do the opposite of what your parents tell you. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna continue to eat that. You're freaking crazy. And time passed, and eventually it was Mother's Day. I'm a Cancer moon, so I'm very intentional. I'm very good at gift giving. I like to give people gifts that lift their heart. So I decided to cook my whole family a fully vegan dinner and to go vegan for 1 week as a gift to my mom. So I went on the internet, I looked up all these different vegan recipes. I found easy ones that I could make. I remember what I made. I made pasta with like a chili oil and garlic. I made box falafel, hummus, tabbouleh, and then for dessert, I made French toast. And I remember it was so good. I remember cooking it was easy, buying the groceries was easy. It tastes delicious. I felt nourished, I felt light. Everyone loved it. And in that moment, I had like a shift in my consciousness where I was like, being vegan's like not that hard. Like, I didn't even eat any animals. Like, that's pretty cool. And then I committed for that week. And from that point forward, I loved it. I literally fell in love with it. And I loved how unique it made me, because back then no one was vegan. There was no Beyond Meat, there was no vegan restaurants. Like, there was probably one vegetarian restaurant, like 45-minute drive, and all they had was like a tofu salad. So it made me like super eclectic and unique, and I loved it. I'd always tell people like, oh, I'm vegan, and they're like, what is that? And I'm like, well, I don't eat any animal products. And everyone's like, oh my god, that's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. But I really started to adopt the lifestyle. I dove super deep into my studies, into my research. I started to uncover so much about America, about the food systems, about sickness. And ultimately, what this did, it planted a seed of consciousness within my mind, because I was like, if they lied to me about the food, the quality of the food, and just the unawareness of food, what else do they lie to people about? And my little 13-year-old self, I started thinking, and that started to make me question reality. I started to question life. I started to question deeper things that most people don't question. And that's a lot of where my spiritual awakening began. And of course, with time, it compounded. So from like 13 to 18, I ate pretty much whatever I wanted. It was like healthy, but then like the vegan meats, the vegan ice cream, refined foods, gluten, refined sugar, like all the things. But always I had a foundation of like a bunch of fresh fruits and vegetables. Then when I was 18, I was crazy. I was a crazy party girl. I was bartending in Miami. I was working 3 jobs. I was in an abusive relationship. I was drinking 4 or 5 days a week, smoking every single day, living an acidic, toxic lifestyle. And from my abusive relationship, I had so much emotional turmoil, so much emotional trauma and stress inside of my body that my body started to rebel against its homeostasis. And I developed full body psoriasis. It started as like a rash on my leg, and then it went full body, absolutely crazy. And it was pretty much my body forcing me to stop everything that I'm doing in my life, to pause, to self-reflect and change my ways before something happens that I cannot heal from or I can't reverse. So I left that relationship and I started going to all the different dermatologists, all the different doctors. It was terrifying. Like, summer in Miami and your full body's covered in these red things and you have to wear long sleeves and long pants. I was wearing turtlenecks and long pants in summer in Miami. Like, if that's not hell, I don't know what is. So I started to go to all these different doctors, all these different dermatologists. They were giving me steroids and creams and shots. And then I started to have to inject myself like on my own with this like new invention of these like biotic organisms. Nothing was helping me, like literally nothing. And at one point I remember the heaviness in my heart and my chest of thinking like, this is gonna be for the rest of my life. And eventually I had this epiphany, this gorgeous aha moment of remembering the doctors can't heal me, but I still have the ability to heal myself. That's still a possibility. I can heal myself. And in that moment, I vividly remember it was just like, I stopped all my medication, stopped going to all my doctor's appointment, and I just dove into my studies. All of the ancient holistic practices of cleansing, detoxing, And it brought me down the path of shadow healing, healing trauma, healing my womb, healing so many different things. This is what really activated my connection and understanding of holistic healing, of aligning, purifying, and just elevating the mind, body, and spirit. So I dove into all of these amazing practices. I was using plant medicines. I was traveling the world. I was diving into herbal medicine. I was fasting. I was deepening my breath, more conscious breathing, healing the nervous system. And I went very natural, like no makeup, nothing in my hair, growing my body hair out, like barefoot all the time, growing my own food. Like I went super natural because my body needed that. It was so overburdened with toxins and toxicity. So I just started to do very deep cleansing, very deep detoxing. And within about a little under 2 years, I fully reversed my psoriasis, and I had a very bad case of it. I fully reversed my psoriasis. I also got rid of ovarian cyst. I did many amazing things through cleansing my diet, through cleaning up my diet and practicing fasting, raw veganism, and extended juice fasting. I feel like these things really helped me, even though I no longer practice them. That was the phase of my life that I was in. Then in 2021, I moved to LA. I was dating someone, and in this time I was still vegan, but I started to just come across more information about hormone health, fertility, bioavailability of food, the anti-nutrients in vegetables and legumes and beans. Like these things, they just started to slowly pop up. I had a little bit of curiosity, didn't care that much, but things were just starting to come into my reality. And I started to look, I started to think, but whatever, still vegan. I still love this way of life. I think it's amazing, good for the planet, good for the animals, good for my energy body. That was another thing in the spiritual path. You just believe that you're lighter because you're not eating another living organism that had to die for you to eat it. So it was an energetic thing very much for me. But then I started to deepen my studies of the hormones, and I started to want just intuitively more nutrients. So I remember one day, the first thing that I ever ate that was not vegan, it was mussels. I had just like 2 or 3 mussels from a Thai restaurant because I just had this like intuitive desire. And then from that point forward, it took me like another year where I was just having small things, maybe once a week, like a little bit of powdered bone broth, maybe like a little bit of ghee to cook something in, but like no actual meat, eggs, dairy, none of that. Then I went to Asia in 2023 with the guy that I was dating. We broke up. I kept traveling. I was in a Vipassana, which is a meditation retreat. And in this meditation retreat, they had vegetarian food and they had non-vegetarian food. And you fast pretty much the whole day. You wake up about 4 a.m. You eat like a small little breakfast of like rice porridge at 6:30, and then you have your main meal at 11, and then you fast the rest of the day. The vegetarian food was like all mock meat, like soy-based mock meat. And I would eat it and I was like, I don't want this. Like, I don't feel satiated. Like, I felt so hungry after. I felt tired. And one day I'm sitting in meditation. It's a meditation retreat. So I'm sitting in meditation, thinking about a lot of stuff, processing through a lot of things. And something just came to me and it was like, eat the chicken. And I was like, eat the chicken? I was like, are you serious? Like, is it time? And I felt curious. I felt excited. Like, I felt ready for change. So the next day at lunchtime, I got me a little bowl of, I remember what it was. It was red curry with chicken. And I ate it. Prayed over it. I was grateful. I was ready. I ate it and I felt good. There was no major shift in my digestion, in my stomach, in my energy body, in anything. I just felt grounded. I felt satiated. I didn't feel hungry the rest of the day. And I was like, I like that. So then the next day I had eggs, and there was just like a gradual, slow process. I didn't eat any red meats. I was only really eating chicken and eggs, maybe like 2 to 3 times a week as I traveled through Asia. Then when I came home from Asia, after a year of traveling and being in a relationship and like being very distant from being grounded, I came back to America and my nervous system was fried. Like, I would wake up every day anxious, and I've never been an anxious person. I've always been very grounded, very in control of my thoughts, my reality. But at this point in my life, like, I was losing my shit. My nervous system was just completely dysregulated. I felt like I was very depleted nutritionally. My hair was like super dry and breaking all on the top, not growing. My nails were like not cute. My skin was all dried out. Just like physical things that I could tell was like, my body's not happy and I need to make a change. And also on top of that, I've always had very up and down menstrual cycles. Thankfully now I have a very regular menstrual cycle, but I never know if I'm gonna have deep, intense pain. Like, I grew up having the type of pain where you're blacking out, throwing up, shivering, shaking, like on the verge of calling 911 because you actually think you're dying. Like, I've had that level of pain. Even not that long ago, like while I was in Asia, I remember being in Sri Lanka on the floor of the bathroom of my hotel room, like dying of pain. That's how bad it is. So I just wanted to nourish my body. Like I know that these certain symptoms of like skin, hair, nails, hormone, period pain, like they're symptoms of nutritional deficiency, of your body not meeting the needs, your body not meeting its needs. So I wanted to make a change. So I started to incorporate more animal products. I wasn't ready to cook my own meat or to really buy my own meat. So I just started with things like canned sardines, things that were just like easy, you know, I could just like kind of eat it and like experience it, see how I felt. So I started with canned sardines and eggs for my farmer's market, and I just slowly started to integrate these things into my diet. So I started to have a larger breakfast, more nutrient dense with more protein, and that changed the way that I ate and felt throughout the day. Like, I'm coming from waking up and fasting till 12 and just eating a melon and then like eating a salad for dinner. Like, I'm completely shifting the way that I'm eating. I started to snack less. I started to change my relationship to food, to my body, to how I felt. And then it just became this gradual, beautiful process of me unfolding into the next version of myself. Because I did realize in my process and experience of being a vegan, a lot of it was ego-based. As much as it was super spiritually liberating, amazing, I learned so much, a lot of it was ego-based, especially when I was raw vegan. I will never forget. I was raw vegan for a year, so I didn't eat any cooked food for a freaking year. When I was ready to stop being raw vegan, I was scared to eat steamed vegetables. That's when I knew that it was like a psychological thing. Because I come from a background of like a little bit of eating disorder habits. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is like not cute. This is giving eating disorder. So as I started to incorporate animal products, I really felt like my relationship to food, it just started to become much more balanced, much more sensible, much more intuitive. And I started to release the need to label how I ate. I stopped needing to label like a name over myself and how I eat. I'm not a carnivore, I'm not a vegan, I'm not a paleo, I'm not a anything. I eat for longevity and nourishment, point blank, period. And I remember the first time I had red meat, it was on a cruise ship. Like I said, I definitely eat like 98% of meat from my farmer's market, from local farms. But in this time, like I was just like, I might as well try it. I'm not gonna buy it myself. I'm not gonna buy it if I go out to eat on my own. Like, I'm gonna cruise. I'm gonna try some freaking meat. So I ordered a steak and I ate it. And I was like, it's good. It's like it wasn't cooked the best. And then I felt like kind of heavy in my digestion, probably because how it was cooked, the oils it was cooked in. But it was like nice to try that. It was nice to do something different. It was nice to allow myself to shift and to do something I didn't do for years. And I really started to enjoy this process. So slowly I started to eat red meat. I started with lamb. I really liked lamb. I started to integrate these animal products into my diet. I also was doing practices of calming my nervous system, becoming more present, deepening my breath, grounding myself, changing the way that I speak to myself. And when I tell you guys, the drastic shift within my physical appearance, within my aura, like my hair like is reborn, my skin reborn, zero makeup, no products in my hair. I wash my hair with water, okay? Because I believe the foundation of beauty, the foundation of health is based in nourishment, which comes from the food that you eat that fuels your cells and then it builds your body. So for majority of my life, I've had a love affair with food, like healthy food, nourishing the body, using food as medicine. And I've tried so many different forms of eating. I know how to connect to so many different types of people. I know how to heal a lot of different things. I am an herbalist, so I use herbal medicine as well. And I'm now 2 months into my studies in becoming a nutritional therapist, which has been super awesome. It's just putting everything together into this beautiful reality where I can then guide people in the process of healing their body with the use of food and not through pharmaceutical medicine or anything that may bring more issues or more trauma. It's giving people back the baton to remembering that they are the truth, they are the power, they are the answer, they are everything that they need. So now I'm in the process of actually learning like the foundational information of health, of the building blocks of the body, of the macronutrients, micronutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, all the things in the body. Now I'm actually learning it and integrating all of my experience into something where I can heal myself, heal other people, and just be a wealth of knowledge for those that are ready to improve their lives, improve their health, and just take their power back. And really the most beautiful lesson in all of this is that you have to allow yourself to grow. You have to understand that we create identities from a lot of our habits. Being vegan became an identity and it became a habit for me. And sometimes we get stuck in these habits, we get stuck in these identities that we don't realize the next path is waiting for us to embark on. The next chapter that is full of new people, new abundance, new experiences, new versions of yourself, deeper health, deeper presence, deeper awakening. You have to let go of your past in order to go forward. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm a huge advocate for intuition, your ability to listen to yourself, your ability to get out of your logical mind, to get out of your mind that likes to control and be analytical and just go based off, what you've always done. When you can step out of that mind and come into the body and slow down and tune in, the answers are there. And the answer for me was that I'm no longer supposed to be vegan anymore. And I listened to it, but I took my time with it. I was very gradual. I was very compassionate. I allowed the process to unfold, to teach me so I can slowly make my way. And now I can help other vegans kind of do the same thing if they're ready, if they feel like they need that. And, learning more about nutritional therapy and understanding how a vegan diet is awesome when done properly, but most people don't do it properly. A lot of people end up disrupting their guts. They end up being nutritionally deficient because a lot of plant foods have nutritional inhibitors in them that block you from actually being able to absorb the nutrients. Plant foods are not as bioavailable as animal products, but you should have a well-rounded diet of all these things: animal foods, plant foods, drink enough water, movement. It's all interconnected, but you have to start to learn how your body works. You can't just assume things because you saw something on social media or you want to be skinny. That's how you get sick. So now I'm just eating an extremely nourishing, balanced diet. I'm only buying meat from my local farmers market. I do not trust supermarkets. I don't trust stores. I feel like the nutrition is different, the energy is different. I feel really good buying my eggs and my meat from my farmers market, and that's what I do. I eat an abundance of fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and right now I'm studying the gut, healing the gut. Like I said, I used to have psoriasis, which is an autoimmune disease, and most of these things root in the gut. Most sickness roots in the gut. Majority of sickness, whether it is physical or mental, roots in the gut. So now I'm studying the gut, gastrointestinal healing, rebuilding the gut lining, and a lot of this process happens through animal foods, eating the right things that give your body the building blocks to rebuild the gut. And the gut affects everything. So it's been a beautiful journey, and I want to remind you guys the importance of intuition. There are so many diet trends nowadays, especially on social media. The huge trend of carnivore. I was just thinking about this girl who's like a big carnivore person, and she's telling people to eat like 10 patties from In-N-Out. No. Quality is what matters. So please don't get too caught up in the trends on social media because you will be led astray. It's dangerous. A lot of people are just doing this for views, not for your actual well-being in mind. So please take that into consideration. And also, everyone's body is different. Everyone's gut microbiome is different. Everyone's genetics are different. Therefore, what works for me might not work for you. That's why it's important to talk to a professional, to talk to someone that is educated in these fields so they can know your story. They can know how you grew up, the things that you eat, how your body reacts, what you're going through, your health struggles, your health goals. That is where real information is found, through unpacking everything. And then from there, we navigate it, we support, we implement new things, we let go of old things, and we allow ourselves to be our healthiest, best version. That's the goal of life, to be your healthiest, best version. Because when your health is good, everything else in life is good. Good health is the greatest blessing on this world. Your body is a temple. Your body is the home of your consciousness, of your imagination, of your mind, of your ability to create your life. So you have to honor your body. And we do this through intuitive eating, listening, tuning in, slowing down, sourcing good food, educating ourselves, working with people that know what they're doing. I'm so excited to graduate as an NTP to help people because I've always loved food. Food has been such a big part of my life, and I'm so excited to share more about what I learn and who I become, and I'm grateful to share this amazing medicine with people. So that is my video today. After 13 years of being vegan, I'm no longer vegan, and I love it. I love to change. I love to shift my identity. I love to grow. I love to listen to my truest self and not listen to society in this world. And at the end of the day, remember the power of your beliefs. If you think something is horrible for you and you're eating it, it's going to be bad for you. If you think something is amazing for you and you're eating it, it's going to be good for you. So be aware of your thoughts. Be aware of your beliefs. Allow yourself to be open to change. What worked for you 10 years ago might not work now. So tune into the present moment, tune into your present body state, and go from there. Okay? I love you. Much love, many blessings. I'll post another video tomorrow because I'm posting every day. So I'd love a comment. I'd love some engagement, a little bit of encouragement because we all need that in life sometimes. So yeah, love you. Much love, many blessings.